24/7.
Are you ready to talk about sex?
No, let's talk about relationships.
Or is it time to talk about dating, taboos?
It's on your mind.
So let's talk about it
On Nightlife 24/7.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nightlife 24/7. As always, I'm your boy Mac. You know, right now, everybody is still dealing with the coronavirus. We're all locked down. We can't go anywhere. Some of us are stuck with the people we want to be stuck with. Some of us are stuck with the people we damn sure wish we hadn't been with. And some of you have realized that your kids are just not as good as you thought they were. You got some badass children, but now you know like the rest of us know. But hey, that's the topic for another day. Listen, guys, reached out to a couple friends, and this is someone that from the first day I met him down at Sex Down South, I liked the gentleman. We just hit it off. We had a great conversation. His work is phenomenal. His due diligence to his craft is impeccable. Please give a warm welcome to my friend Penguin After Dark. How you doing, man?
Hey, doing all right. How about you, Matt?
Bruh, just living the dream, being stuck in the house.
I like that comment about people realizing their kids are little badasses like they never expected before, because ain't that some truth?
Boy, whoo, you starting to find out what you really had all this time, because you've been sending them off to let somebody else take care of them and deal with them. Now they're yours the whole time. Yeah. Yeah, they finding out. You seeing it on social media, Facebook, people talking about their kids and, when is school gonna start back? Who can come and watch them? What am I supposed to do with them? You laid down and got them. Now you got to lay down and play with them. So you better figure it out. Figure it out.
Most definitely.
So hey, I want to talk about one topic. I'll let you talk about anything you want to talk about, but I saw some paddles that you had, and it caught my attention more than anything else, was the ones that you had that had all the insignia from the different branches, the Marines, the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army. And I was like, oh, I have to get me one of those. I really, really have to get. What made you think about doing that?
Well, what it actually was one of my customers had reached out, and she ordered all four of them because she happens to have four partners that each one of them served in a branch of the military, so she wanted to have one for each one of them so they could leave their marks upon her ass. And unfortunately, Coast Guard and Space Force didn't make the cut, but
they never do. They never do.
But her each of the paddles, they're kind of inset, so when you see the picture, the Marines is actually backwards. That way it will leave the proper marking,
Wow.
Once a strike has been made. And it's funny because when I made them, the entire time, because Air Force is a pretty simple design, and same with Army and Navy. And I was like, okay, well, the Marines are going to be the hardest because it's a lot more intricate, and I'm working everything by hand. Well, the Marines ended up being I had a lot of fun with that because it was challenging, but surprisingly, the Army one was a bitch. No one would have thought straight lines would be so difficult. When I actually made them and didn't like how they came out, and I had to scrap the four of them and redo them. And so with the Army one, I had to come up with this little jig so I could have my router run a straight edge down it and everything and get it all nice and clean. So I was happy with the four that I gave her, and she was definitely happy with them also.
Wow. It's amazing because, she's got four partners and each one served in a different branch. We love a woman who is appreciative of our service. She is very appreciative. I can see that.
Oh yeah, no, and I know her also, and she's pretty cool too. So, it's pretty fitting that she's got multiple play partners that kind of span several different areas of expertise and pests and whatnot.
Well,
So,
I know for a fact I will be ordering the Army one. Hopefully, I can get the family and friends discount. But yeah, I definitely will be ordering the Army one to add to my collection of my play bag. So yeah, most definitely. I actually have a rifle case. It's a black and silver rifle case, metallic case that I keep my toys in that I travel with, and they have each one has a piece where I've cut the styrofoam out, and so they fit in there perfectly. And I have space for one or two more items I can add, so that paddle would be perfect. It would be totally
nice.
Perfect.
I bet it looks awesome. Like when you throw that case down and you pop it open, and everything's in there, just like in their perfect little foam spots. I bet that looks fucking awesome.
It does. It's fantastic, and I'm gonna start when things hopefully get back to some type of normal. I will be having actually a spanking booth set up at the different events that may or may not happen this year, depending on the time frame. But I'm definitely gonna have that there. So yeah, let people have those five minutes of spanking. And take them to that subspace, and yeah, we're gonna have a good time. Definitely have a good time. So
I can't wait to see that. That ought to be quite the spectacle.
Well, I aim to please there. You had something a while back that I commented to you about, and I think you had made it for someone else. It looked like the old school. Remember when they used to, back in the old days, have you sit outside with your head and your arms in the... It's actually it's a pillory. And when I made it, so some friends had, they bought this property, and when they're clearing it all out, there was this old, like, solid wood headboard in it, and they're just going to trash it. And I'm like, oh, shit, that'd be perfect for a pillory. So I took it home, and I made it for them because they actually have started a little play space here in San Antonio called Munches, and so I wanted to make them a piece of furniture that they could use. So I sat on that thing for like 2 months, like trying to figure it out, and I'd never really built furniture before. Right.
So it was definitely a learning curve. Plus, I also wanted it to be adjustable. That way you can have smaller frame people that are shorter also, and then taller people. So the thing actually has two different levels that it will rise up. And then there's different size, like wrist openings. So I've made the smaller sizes to fit like my wife, to where she could be in it relatively comfortably. And then I also, to where you could extend it upward, and then I could fit in it and be relatively comfortable. I mean, I understand the whole purpose of the thing is to be uncomfortable, but, if you're getting your ass beaten, last thing you want is to have the thing like pinching your wrists and, straining your back. So I wanted it to be versatile enough that, damn near anybody could use it and get enjoyment out of it.
Man, that was a beautiful piece. I don't know if a lot of people saw it on my Instagram feed, but I hope they did, because it was gorgeous. And guys, if you don't know my Instagram, which some of you I know you do because you're on it every day, is nightlife_podcast. But please check it out. Follow, join. Penguin is on there. I always see his stuff when he uploads, and some of the stuff just blows my mind. So anything particular that you're working on at this moment, or ideas of what's to come, since we are in a new normal now of social distancing and staying locked down?
As a matter of fact, I've actually been using this time to, I've been starting to play around with making videos and making, content. That way I can start uploading on YouTube. And I also have a website, but I'm going to use, I use that, penguinafterdark.com. I use that for, people can kind of check out what we've got coming up next. And then there's some stuff for sale on there. but I also want to start having like vlogs and then actual video content of making things. So speaking of those military paddles, I had another customer reach out, and she wanted a Navy one because she served in the Navy. And, you know, it's going to be a little bit different than the one I already made because, you know, I like to make things unique for each person.
Right.
But I've actually been filming the entire process of it and putting together a video. And actually, before our interview, I was applying one of the final coats of paint to it. And I should be having that video up on Tuesday. So it's something I want to start getting into, just kind of, you know, showing how this process is, you know, trying to, you know, I don't know the exact direction I want to take with the videos.
Right.
I do know I want to be able to show people how to make toys on a budget, or, you know, being able to make toys that, you know, cost money. You know, that way you can give people like different ideas of they want to get into crafting or, you know, building up their own toy bag, but they want it to be something personal that they had a hand in. So, you know, just kind of showing ways of, you know, doing that. And that's basically the direction I want to take it in. And this Navy paddle that I've been working on this weekend is actually going to be like the first major video that's going up. And we can be found Penguin After Dark on YouTube. I made everything be Penguin After Dark, all one word. So you can find it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the website, FetLife, and now YouTube. So if you just Google Penguin After Dark, all one word, the first thing pops up is website. When you hit images, like 98% of them are all of our stuff. So we're very easy to find by design.
Okay, well, for the few guys who are going to definitely try to follow him, don't worry. At the end of the show, I'm going to give him a chance to make sure he gives you every bit of information, phone numbers, websites, IG, Facebook, all that information so you can follow him. Explain to me, or to my listeners, how did you come up with the name Penguin After Dark?
I actually get that a lot. A long time ago, I discovered this, there's actually a piece of art graffiti, and it was this penguin with a halo, and it was saying move, so I kind of adopted this mooing penguin thing for a long time, and then once I started getting into the kinkier things, I was like, well, I need to come up with something else, and after kind of exploring a lot of options, I was like, well, Penguin After Dark works perfectly, and then I was able to take the penguin design and like add horns to it and, you know, make it my own thing to where it also really stands out and is unique on its own. So it's just the penguin thing has been kind of marinating with me for probably 12 years, but it wasn't until about 3 to 4 years ago when I started doing Penguin After Dark that it really has just kind of exploded and taken off.
Okay. So, where are you originally from?
I was born in Houston, Texas, and then I moved to North Dakota when I was younger, and then I spent the most of my life in Texas. I've been all over Seguin, New Braunfels, Wimberley, Waco. Okay. Primarily Central Texas is a more accurate term, but I've been in San Antonio for the last 17, 18 years, I'd say.
Love San Antonio. Just love San Antonio. I love the women, love the food, love the Riverwalk. I love San Antonio. Just love it.
Oh, same here. Like, I really wasn't a big fan of San Antonio growing up. I guess just, you know, I had this weird expectation or, you know, vision of what it was. And then I was with a partner and we moved down here. And then it was just like all of a sudden, holy shit, San Antonio's awesome. You know, it's kind of left to its own devices, and the people are really unique and just kind of, it's just a really cool town and cool community and all that.
Yeah, it really was. And they're kind of, even though there's a large tourist population, the actual people who live there are very laid back.
Oh
Very
yeah,
nice.
definitely. And it's funny because the whole tourist part, um, a lot of that really centers around the Riverwalk, which is downtown.
Right.
So, once you kind of get away from that, I mean, yeah, there's SeaWorld and there's the shops at La Cantera and a lot of other areas, but for the most part, all the tourism comes to the Riverwalk, which is absolutely beautiful. You have, of course, you have the Alamo, and then you have like the Minger Hotel, and you have just
Yeah.
a lot of really cool shit down there.
Yeah, see, I had considered one time possibly moving there, but then I was just like, I don't know. Florida was the direction I wanted to go, which was closer to the water, but I don't know if I got an option. Yeah, San Antonio might just be the spot because it's really chilled. It's really really chilled. So you ended up in San Antonio. When did you realize that you had this craft, this gift, this ability to make things such as you do? When did that hit you and realize, hey, I'm gonna focus on this and really, really, this is my niche?
Well, it's funny because when I was a kid, I always drew. I took inspiration from comic books, and so for God, the first 20 something years of my life, all I could really do was draw. Well, in the early 2000s, someone had given me a Dremel, which is like a little rotary tool.
Yeah, yeah, the one you
Someone
hold
had
in your
given me
hand.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, someone had given me one as a gift, and I was like, I don't know what the hell to do with this thing, but I was like, oh, there's this little sander wheel on it, and so I took a piece of 2x4 and just basically sanded out a face on it. And I was like, oh man, that was really fun. So I did that for a little while, but then I still didn't go back to actual woodworking until, geez, actually probably about 5 years ago. I mean, the grand scheme of things, where I am as a woodworker and leather worker didn't start up until about 5 years ago. And what really started it all was I started getting into the kink community. I mean, I was always kind of kinky, but just kind of using whatever I could find with my partners. But when I started being like, oh man, I'd like to have a toy bag, but I couldn't afford to go out and buy all these really cool toys that I saw people making. So
right.
found some information on how to make like, the paracord flogger where you basically take paracord and electrical tape a handle out of it, and then, you're off to the races, and pain sticks and stuff like that. And it really kind of started firing off, the imagination. Man, what if I, took a piece of wood and then I cut this and I did this, and then of course you start getting into learning, well, what kind of finishes, what kind of stain should I use? How can I get this a smooth surface? And then with leather just started kind of, well, I need to make falls for a flogger, and then started experimenting with that, started getting, better leathers to work with, and then started getting into wet forming and making masks, and then restraints, and, blah, blah. It's like when you have that buzz and it clicks, and you just start going to the races with it. I mean, you're all of a sudden, you look back and you're like, shit, 5 years, and it's like I've learned a lot, but I still haven't even scratched the surface of, all the knowledge on all this stuff that there is. So it's fun. It keeps me intrigued. It keeps me challenged, and I love the hell out of it. And even if the whole kink thing doesn't work out, I experiment with so many projects that I can make stuff and do anything with it all, because I'm still learning this massive skill base, which has just been mind blowing to me.
Okay, man. See, that's funny how you said that, because for me, I knew even as a child, I wanted to always do public speaking or be on the radio. I just knew that. I stayed with that for years, but then as you get older, you have to get real and things that you can do to make money. So I get what you're saying. So I kind of ventured away from it, and finally came back to it, and I'm happy. So I get exactly what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying.
And and it's a trip because I'm 41 right now,
Right.
And for the first 37 years of my life, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. You know, so to your listeners, I know there's a lot of people in the same boat where it's like it's only too late when you're dead.
Right.
Don't worry, it'll come, and when it comes, and you find that thing, and holy shit, the sky's the limit. And something that this becoming a passion of mine, coming so late in life. I mean, it's made all the experiences I've had in the past that much richer, knowing that they've all had these little, significant roles in leading up to this. So, anyone can do it. Follow their dreams, as cliche as that is. But,
right, but it's true. It really is. I mean, you can deviate so much from your true path, and something will always bring you back to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it is, some kind of way, whether it's a dramatic event or just one of those aha moments, you're going to realize, oh, damn, I always should have been doing this. This is where and you're going to find it. So for you to be so open about it, to tell people, hey, this is where I started, but people need to realize in this time, and I hate to say it, this time being stuck at home, being stuck in one place, being bored, this is when you need to find out what it is you're good at. If you like sewing, or if you like knitting, or you're into writing books, and if you're drawing or whatever, carving, hand carvings, quilting, whatever it is, this is the time to truly see, because you'll find out if you're happy every day getting up doing that thing. At some point, you're going to be happy enough to say, you know what, I'm ready to push this out to the world and let them see what I'm capable of. And it's going to bring you money, because if you can make it, somebody out there likes it.
Oh, yeah.
Someone out there likes it and been looking for it, and they just didn't know how to find it, and now you're it.
Yep. And it's going to take a lot of stumbling. It's going to take a lot of tripping. It's going to take a lot of running around in circles. But once you hit on that mark, and then you just run with it, and it is out there, and everybody can find their thing. And I mean, honestly, I still have a job where I'm essential. But with having the quarantine in place, when I get done with coming home, we're not going out to munches, and we're not going out to parties, and we're not doing this and that. And so it's like really helping me focus a lot more on, I've been having this project I've wanted to work on for a while. I'm going to go ahead and fucking do that. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about other obligations. So I still consider myself fortunate in being able to work, but my goal also with this is that within the next year, I'm done with my other job, and I can focus on this full time, especially with like bringing on the video aspect of it, and vanilla events products that I have, and then of course the entire kink world has just been absolutely phenomenally amazing and embracing of us coming in, and it's just like every year is just like, holy shit, we're doing more until 2020, of course. But I know that that's not because of something we did wrong. That's
that's
something the entire world, we're all in this big universal boat together. So
and you're 100% correct about that, because I've always told people you can make a lot of money and not be happy. And I know people who are making the least amount of money, but they're happy as hell getting up, doing a job or doing a craft that they love every day. So and like me, it took me 2 years to get to this point, and I made a lot of mistakes. I made so many, hooking up with the wrong people, making many mistakes on the website, on the recordings, all that kind of stuff. So, but that's part of the road of getting there. That's truly just part of it, because once you've done it, no one can take it from you. You now have that experience locked in. And you're
definitely. And I mean, that's like anything, the old adage, you have to crawl before you walk. Well, you look at children, or, infants, they're busting their ass all the time before they can walk. But once they're walking, you can't fucking stop them. And so it's the same thing. You're going to be you're going to be busting your ass both in the hard work aspect, but also in, you know, dropping the ball and having those moments of failure. But as long as you get up and keep doing it, you will hit your patch and take off. And, you know, I try to tell people that all the time. It's just keep trying. Don't give up. It's getting past that initial, you know, you have that moment where you're like, oh God, I don't think I can do this. Oh, you know, I'm drowning because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. Overwhelmed. Yes.
You just have to push through it and push through it. And and then a lot of there's passion there. You know, how much do you want it? I mean, you have to like push through that, and I guarantee you will come out the other side, and you will start doing whatever. You know, learn to play an instrument, like you said, writing a book, or you know, needlework, or you know, hell, you know, somebody always wants to get into shibari.
Yeah.
I mean, now's the time. Grab some stuffed animals and start tying them up with shoelaces and shit, you know?
Yeah,
and,
no, I agree with you 150% because I have been saying since I told my girl this year we were going to start doing videoing. We're going to start videoing our recording sessions. We're going to start videoing our interviews and stuff. Didn't do it until this happened. And for the last 2 weeks, we've been doing live every Wednesday our shows. And the shows are just, you know, because we're both certified life coaches and relationship coaches. And so now we've been just doing live shows every Wednesday at 7, helping people deal with the stress of being locked down and how, like last week we did a show on how to fight fair. Because you're going to be frustrated and irritated and aggravated because you're stuck in one spot. And you know, so each week, I get your point, but we finally did it because we had that time now. So your point is right. You got to find and make that time, and then once you do, you're good to go. And in that moment of doubt, it's hard. It is hard to push through because sometimes you got family and friends who are adding to that.
Yep.
And then it's weird. The person that may give you the pushover is a total stranger to push you right over the edge. So yeah, I totally get it. But yeah, I wanted to ask you another question. With the work that you do you have a lot of people contacting you from around, not just around the country, but outside the U.S.?
Right now, not outside of the U.S. We've tried to not focus too much on international right now, only because of the fact that shipping outside the U.S. can be pretty pricey.
Right.
I haven't done a lot of research into it, but you know, my initial research, I was just like, whoa, shit, you know. I'd hate to be like, yeah, you know, there's this $50 paddle, but it's also going to cost you another $40, $50 to get it shipped to, you know, UK or wherever you are. I mean, now, I don't know 100% if that's the actual price breakdown on it.
Right.
But, I mean, of course, I'm also the type that's like, try to focus on being local. Yes, I love the customers we get from out of state and everything, and I cherish them. But it's also, you know, it's like, hey, there's crafters in your neighborhood that would love to have your money. But if you see something that I do that is, you know, to where you find value in it and you're willing to put your hard-earned money into it, I mean, that's like one of the most humbling things that I've experienced on this whole journey. Just, you know, it's like you went to work all week busting your ass, and then you got a paycheck. And there's literally a million different things you could do with that money, but you see something that I made that speaks to you, and you want it. I mean, that, you know, that's heartwarming to me. Just like, because I know what it's like to bust your ass for money, and then you're making that decision. You know, I know I've got, you know, so much money that I can play with at the bills, but you know, what am I gonna give? So
right. Because most of us are that way. We got to sit there and figure out where it's going and lay it out so we can have that money to play with toward once you paid all the bills. You sit down and let me pay this, and pay this, and whatever left over, That's your fun money.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what do you foresee in the future for Penguin After Dark after we start to get back to some type of normal?
Oh, it's. I know for us, it's just going to be steady as the course. Where, as I was saying before 2020, we're seeing these kind of leaps and bounds of like just the more people know us, the more exposure we get, the more people start taking trust in our products and trust in my wife and I as just as people. And so I know, excuse me, that when things return to normal, we're just going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing and expanding and doing more and just world domination. I mean, you know how that is.
Yeah, I can see it now. The Scarface of the King World. I see you in products. I got you. I got you.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
Paddle.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey guys, we're down to the last few minutes of the show, and I would love for Penguin here to give you any and all his contact information that he would like for you to have so you can like him, follow him, contact him. His products are of the highest quality. He is impeccable when it comes to craftsmanship. So if you're looking for something very specific, something unique, contact the man. He may be able to do it for you, and if he doesn't, he probably knows someone who can do it for you. Okay? But I'm telling you this, you will be extremely, extremely, extremely happy with what you receive from him. And I hope that in time our friendship continues to grow, because I see myself getting a lot of specific things done with him also in the future. So I look forward to our friendship growing at the rate that it's growing. It's how to say, it's just slow and steady, and I like that. It's cool. It's real cool. So, Penguin, if you would like, please at this time, go ahead and give all your information so how they can follow you, like you, and contact you for your work.
Definitely. Like I said earlier, if you Google Penguin After Dark, all one word, you will find everything. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our website, penguinafterdark.com. We have you can reach out through any of those avenues. We're gearing. There is a Penguin After Dark YouTube channel. You can check that out and start keeping an eye on that. Subscribe, comment, hit the little bell notifier, blah blah blah. And just keep an eye out. And we're also going to try to be in y'all's neighborhoods at some point in the next year or two, vending at events. Just continuously growing, and reach out. We love custom orders, everything from super sadistic to soft and cute and cuddly. We try to do it all. Just like Max said, I know a lot of people, if there's something I can't do, I have no problem getting you in touch with the person I think would best be able to take care of you. And I appreciate this interview too, Mac, and I definitely look forward to getting to see you more often. I know when I met you at Sex Down South, you also had like this kind of energy where it was just like really fucking relaxing to kind of just shoot the breeze with and stuff. So hope I get to see you at Sex Down South this year, as long as everything, can go back to normal in a timely fashion. And then whatever other events we run into.
Yeah, that makes tours, my friend. Yeah, we've applied to teach at Sex Down South, and we're actually going to have a vending booth this time, and we're going to we're running our line of T-shirts, alternative lifestyle T-shirts, and then we're going to have a table there for the podcast. So yeah, we were doing a lot at Sex Down South and Frolicon, but all that's changed, and Self and LLC, all those things have been pushed back. So I'm looking forward to seeing you, and I hope that we can keep meeting up to different events. Maybe leather preservation. I think that's one you should definitely look into. You will enjoy yourself so much.
Oh yeah, I saw that you'd you had a bunch of stuff you're showing pictures of, and you've done some interviews with there too that I enjoyed checking all that out too. So, is that in Atlanta also, or
That's in Atlanta. That's in Atlanta every year. You should definitely. What I'll do is, when we're done with the interview and I get some time, I'll get the contact information for the person who's in charge of that, and I'll send it to you.
Definitely.
But you would be extremely happy vending there. Really, really happy.
Oh, definitely.
So,
hey, I'd really appreciate that, man. Oh yeah.
Not an issue, bro. That's what we do. We watch out for each other. I mean, we're
got to.
Yeah, we're definitely. Hey, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in and listening to Nightlife Podcast. You were listening to Mac and Penguin After Dark. As I say to you at the end of every show, and I'm going to keep repeating this, be safe, be smart, but have fun. The other thing that you need to encompass on every show that I put out there, and I'm never going to stop saying it, we are put on this earth to help somebody. And all I'm asking is that if you can't help someone, please just don't do anything to harm them. All right? And with that being said, I'm going to say goodbye to my guest, Penguin, and I will holler at you later, my brother, and I wish you well for you and your wife, and continue to be safe, and make sure everybody keep that damn 6 feet distance from you, all right?
Hell yeah, you too, man.
All right, man. I will holler at you later, and everyone, we'll talk to you then. Bye.
Cool. Bye.
We at Nightlife 24/7 appreciate you, our listener, who has an open mind and heart and are able to listen, learn, and discuss those issues that affect you and your partner. By discussing these issues, we hope to keep the lines of communication open to help inform you, our listener, and our community. It's on your mind, so let's talk about it on Nightlife 24/7.